back to Little Miss Drop Stitch. Today I've got a free knitting pattern tutorial for you, which is my little friend here, Wee Haggis. Haggis is something that they eat in Scotland and no one quite knows what's in it. My mum said wee haggis looks like something that a cat would cough up, and it's like, well, do we really know what's in haggis anyway? And the reason we've got this as a free pattern for January is because Burns Night is celebrated in Scotland on the 25th of January, and it celebrates the poet Robert Burns, or Burns if you're from Scotland. And we've made him extra friendly with his little eyes. Today is the video tutorial, but I will link down below a link to the written pattern that you can get for free on Ravelry. As always, please do give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe and all that good stuff so we can continue to add to the Wee Haggis family and make other free patterns as well. To make Wee Haggis, you will need some 10mm knitting needles, some super chunky yarn. So we did actually use Soda Alpine, however you're just not going to see anything on a tutorial, so I am just going to use a normal super chunky wool. And you'll also need some eyes, so I used safety eyes, just what I had in. I think I used, they're about 18mm. You can get all sorts of safety eyes, different colours, googly eye style, all of it. If you wanted, or if you're making it for a child, you could embroider the eyes on or use felt and glue them as well. Other bits and bobs you'll need is a very small amount of stuffing and also a wool needle to sew. But if you're using the fluffy yarn, this project's great if you're not a fan of sewing because you cannot even see it. Even I can't find the join. The first thing we're going to do is cast on 4 stitches, and I would suggest doing this loosely, and you'll see why in a moment. And as well, for anything we're doing in this video, whether it's the sewing up, the increasing, the casting on, whatever, we do have lots of tutorials on our channel for all these techniques. So there we go, I've cast on 4 stitches loosely. And now what I'm going to do is knit into the front and back of each stitch. So we do have a video if you're not familiar with this stitch, and that's why we've kept them nice and loose as well. And that brings us to 8 stitches in total. Then purl 1 row, and the overall stitch we are going to be creating is stocking stitch, which is knit 1 row, purl 1 row. I'll probably speed up some of this knitting a little bit, so please don't think I'm going that fast or that you have to either. And next one, we're going to be increasing again, so we're going to knit 1 and knit front and back in the stitch, and you're going to keep repeating that. So knit 1, knit front and back in the next stitch, knit 1, knit front and back, and keep doing that until you're at the end of the row, and that gives you 12 stitches. This is our last increase row. You're going to knit 2 and then knit front and back in the next stitch, and keep doing that all the way across. Don't forget to look at the written instructions as well in the link down below to Ravelry, if I can say it. They are completely free and it can just remind you where you're up to. So knit 2, knit front and back, and keep doing that till the end, and that should give you 16 stitches. Next up is row 6, and what I want you to do is purl for row 6, row 7 is knit, row 8 is purl, row 9 is knit, and row 10 is purl again. So that'll all be in the written instructions, or you can rewind on the video, and that'll help create the body of Wee Haggis. And we're back. Here is the body of Wee Haggis, and now we're going to work on the decreases. So first row, and remember you should be on a knit side. We're going to knit two together. And keep doing that along. So knit two and knit two together. And at the end you should have 12 stitches. Fabulous. Then purl one row. We're back to a knit row, so what we want to do now is knit one, knit two together all across. So knit one, knit two together, knit one, knit two together. And you'll never guess what we're going to do now. We're going to purl another row. We're very near the end now, and I promise you, if we'd have done it in this yarn as a tutorial, you wouldn't have been able to see kind of where I was decreasing and things. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to knit two together all along the row, and that will give us 4 stitches, but don't cast off just yet. Here's our 4 stitches, and we're not going to cast them off in the traditional way. What you'll do is cut your yarn, leaving a bit of a tail for sewing up, and then thread them through with a wool needle, so that'll create a gather. And then to stitch it, and this is on the written instructions as well if you're not sure, to stitch you're going to have the purl side facing outwards, and that's the same for this one even though you can't see it. So the purl side will be facing outwards, and then you will stitch, and before you get to the end don't forget to stuff and add your safety eyes if that's what you're doing, or you could embroider the eyes at the end or glue with felt, and then you will gather and sew his little bottom up as well. And there we have it, the tutorial for Wee Haggis. And if you've seen the little pictures on our socials as well, it has been frolicking around in the snow, which was very sweet. Don't forget to give us that like, a thumbs up, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you, take care, and do share your very own Wee Haggises with us as well.